Hey everyone, it is Kate Weatherwise here, your favorite weather girl, coming to you on December 28th, 2025. It is coming up on 3 p.m. on the Pacific Coast and 6 p.m. on the East Coast. And what I wanted to focus on today was the active weather concerning a low pressure system that I talked about a couple days ago in one of my previous forecasts that is currently sitting over around the Michigan area, and it is dragging a cold front through. Out ahead of this front, we have some thunderstorms. We have a tornado watch currently for the state of Indiana with some severe weather out ahead of this front, and back behind the front we've got some cold air that's been pulled in from Canada, creating snow and wind for Michigan and points north and west and east. And I'm going to show us on a map right now, but that's what I'm focusing on today. And then I'll give a little bit of what's coming up down the pike this next week, coming into New Year's Day, which is on Thursday. So let's just go straight in to, this is one of my favorite maps. I love looking at maps like this. This gives you a great indication of where these low pressure systems are in the world. Wherever you're looking, I'm looking at the United States because that's where I live. And this shows us where this low pressure system is right over the state of Michigan, and it's pulling down this colder air from Canada. This is the system that I was talking about in some of my previous videos, where the cold Arctic air pushed down from Canada and created a high pressure dome over this area. This red is where there's a high pressure. This is the actual pressure in millibars, where this high pressure is sitting. And as we get closer to this low, the pressure drops. And then this low pressure system here is sitting about probably, this is 999. So I would say this is around 990 millibars, which is a decent size low, but it is sitting right over here. This is another low pressure system that was on the East Coast a couple of days ago, and now it's heading towards Ireland and Europe and points east from there. And then again, we have another low pressure system that it's out over the ocean that we won't really bother with right now. But right now we're going to focus on this low pressure. As you can see, it is 990 millibars, just like I said. So we're going to go straight into the radar. Right now, this is in the red is the tornado watch. It's for northern, central, and southern and western Indiana, and it's taking us into Illinois as well, into the southeastern part of Illinois. And you can see the northern part of this line has these red boxes are tornado warnings right now. I'm going to pull up the velocities on this line to see what we are looking at. See if we can see any rotation here. I'll go ahead and animate this so this can kind of give us, I don't see, can you see that? I don't see a lot of rotation. There's some competing winds here, which is why they decided to put a tornado warning on these two storms. But this one, there's a little bit of rotation, perhaps right here and right here. And then there's a little bit of rotation, I would say right here as well. And then up here as well. So there is some rotation with these storms. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity of these storms. So there is some rotation in these storms, and then there's lots of severe thunderstorm warnings on these storms as well, all the way down to the south. So this is what this part of the country is dealing with today. It's heading towards Indianapolis. That will be there approximately in the next 3:25. This is Pacific time, so 5:25 local time. So I would say around 6 p.m. local time, maybe 6:15 local time. Indianapolis, this line will get towards you, and then this is marching forward at about 43 knots. So these are moving pretty quickly east, and this is really the most active part of the country right now. And as I zoom back out, if I go back out, There's really not a lot of going on outside of this area. This is a generalized, this box right here is for generalized thunderstorms. And then this green gives us a marginal, and then this yellow line gives us the slight risk. And then it starts talking about actual tornadoes. So this area, and I talked about this a couple days ago, how this could be a possibility, and it looks like it has come to fruition. Now, I'll keep an eye on this all afternoon long and see if I should come back and do another video, but this is what is being dealt with. And behind that storm, behind this low pressure system, and you can see the winds are going pretty well too, 29 miles per hour, 25. We have up here a lot of snow, and this is a convection discussion as well that ends in about 2 hours, talking about heavy snow and what that is, how that's affecting them up here in Wisconsin. So again, like I just mentioned, we have heavy snow to the north and west of the low pressure system, and we have rain and mix in between. And what is this? Oh, it's a power outage. Okay. I couldn't tell what that, I guess that does look like electricity or almost like a lightning bolt. So, and I believe that's in Canada. So there's some power outages for that part of the world from the storm. And then smack dab, Illinois and Indiana, you are dealing with the severe weather from the system. Now, I'm going to go back over here and bring up the satellite imagery. And you can see on the, whoops, sorry, I keep messing that up. You can see here, this is the line stretching all the way back down into Missouri. And this is the line that is bringing those heavier thunderstorms and tornado warnings for Indiana. So it's going to continue to head east overnight, and we will most likely see more watches and warnings as we go throughout the evening in this part of the world. So definitely be keeping an eye out on that. And this is the current situation. We go to the rapid refresh model. This gives us a short window of time and the most accurate depiction of what is going to happen with the weather. And as I advance forward, and it shows that slim area where there's mixed precipitation and perhaps some ice and then some wind behind it, and then that low pressure with the rain to the north, a little bit to the north, and then the thunderstorms out ahead of the low where all the warm and moist air is. And behind it, you can see this cold air, which is part of that Arctic front that came through and dropped the temperatures. This morning when I woke up, it was 14 degrees where I live in eastern Washington. And then Montana, there was some temperatures below zero this morning, and they're just above zero today. So this cold air is going to march down to the south and down to the east. And as we go through the day today, behind this front, and as you can see, it's going to continue to march east and bring some pretty good winds. These isobars are really tightly packed, and some snow. And then as the low exits, you will then turn into lake effect snow for Michigan and Ohio and New York and all of those favored areas when there's northwest winds coming across those lakes. So the rain out ahead of it. Now, as it gets to the East Coast, this system will lose its steam. So there won't be any severe weather for Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. There will be some rain in Pennsylvania a little bit. But again, there's snow back behind this low, and then some purples, which is probably going to be some ice and mixed precipitation. This is going to be ice, this purple, and then this red is going to be mixed precipitation, and then on the northern fringe is the snow. And so this takes us through Monday morning, and then that's where we end with the rapid refresh model because it only gives you that short window of time. So I'm going to flip over here to the European model, and this takes us through, let's see, I'll back it up. So this is at 4 o'clock today for the European model. And as we go forward in time, again, this model depicts the same scenarios with the snow on the backside. This is the 976 millibar low that doesn't really move a whole lot, and it's going to head up into Canada, and then out ahead of it is the rain. And as it gets to the East Coast, it will lose a lot of its steam and energy for thunderstorms, which is good. It's just going to be a little bit of rain. But then as you head up into New England, the coastal areas will see rain, but the inland areas will see snow and ice and mixed precipitation and wind. So as this continues over into Canada, this cold air kind of moves with it, and then it gets warm again back out west. So this is on Monday afternoon. Warm is a relative term because it's not like it's going to be in the 60s again, but it is going to warm back up over freezing, which it's been. Right now it is 28, 29 degrees where I am. So it's been below freezing for the past 2 days, which is kind of nice. It's actually wintertime. But we've had brilliant sunshine the past 2 days, which is nice because before yesterday, it has been just gray and overcast and gross. So it's nice to get, a switch up for, mix out the rain and the yuck and get some sun in, and it just feels really good on your skin, and it makes you feel alive. So this warmer ridge builds back in for the west, the cold trough to the east, and it stays relatively warm as you head southeast into Georgia and North Florida and down into South Florida. But even you guys are going to see a cool down as we go along into the week, heading into New Year's Day. So this system exits. The cold air kind of stays behind. The cool air will make it all the way down to the southeast. And then from this ridge, we'll see some more systems just sort of coming over. And like I mentioned before, little clipper systems after this big one exits that'll bring some system snow and maybe some snow to the mid-Atlantic. Now, this is January 1st, New Year's Day. And I'm going to take us over to the temperatures. I'm going to zoom us forward to... Well, let's see. I'll start back at the beginning. So this is currently right now with the temperatures, and this warm pocket, Indianapolis or Indiana, you are around 60 degrees. Southern Illinois, you are in the mid 60s. So there's lots of juice for those storms to develop. And that low pressure system is just giving it a lot of energy and rigorous atmosphere. So that's why these storms have fired up ahead of that low pressure system. And then here comes the cold air. This is where it's been cold for the past few days, and it'll still stay cold, but it'll start to retreat a little bit. And look at this warmth. This is as of 10 o'clock tonight. So as this low pressure system moves east, it's going to bring with it the warmer temperatures, and that's why it's going to continue to storm in those areas as it moves east. But then this cold air kind of catches up to it, and that's when the low pressure system will start to break down and not have as much steam as it approaches the East Coast, and it will be replaced by colder, more stable air behind it. And then this is tomorrow, Monday the 29th at 1 o'clock Pacific time, so that's 4 o'clock Eastern time. And you guys will start to see the cooler air, and this will be filtering all the way down into Florida. I mentioned it before in the past couple days that northern Florida will be in the 30s and 40s. Southern Florida will be in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Central Florida will be in the 40s and 50s. So that still remains true for you guys. This is December 30th. In the afternoon or in the evening, and all the way down into South Florida, your temperatures are going to be in the 50s. So I think some of you who like to have cooler weather this time of year in South Florida will probably welcome that, but you're also acclimated to those temperatures. I used to live in South Florida, so I can attest to, I lived there for 5 years, so I can attest to your body totally acclimating, and then if it got below like 75, you were cold. So 50 degrees is going to be like freezing. And then by the 31st, the cold air starts to retreat back up into Canada, except for the northern fringes and into the northeast, up into Maine, a little bit of New England and Michigan. You guys will stay cold. And of course, North Dakota into Minnesota and Wisconsin. But it's still going to be rather chilly down into South Florida. So it's not going to be too warm for anybody. 50s, 60s for the southern parts of the southern states. And so as we go through to January 1st, it's going to stay a little bit on the cooler side to the north and even down to the south. And the warmth starts to come back into South Texas. But even then, it's like mid 70s. So that is probably chilly for you all there too. But yeah, and this takes us into the second. So this is where I will stop for this video. But as we go back to this and this low pressure system, this is what I'm focusing on right now because it is bringing in that snow, the mix with some ice and some rain and that severe weather into Indiana and southeastern Illinois. And that'll continue to move eastward throughout the evening and into tomorrow. So everybody in Ohio, you all will be under that. I don't know if you'll have a tornado watch, but you'll have the potential for severe weather into tomorrow for you all. And I will keep an eye on it and we'll send out more videos as they are necessary. But I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention today. This is what it looks like through New Year's Day with a ridge building back up into the west and some colder air coming all the way down into South Florida for our New Year's Day. But that's what it looks like. And this is Kate Weatherwise saying bye for now. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell and share it and like my videos. I have many of them out now. And that just helps me a bunch and keeps me coming back to make more videos. And I really, really, really appreciate it. So this is Kate Weatherwise saying bye for now.